If you tuned into church this last Sunday, you heard an exciting announcement that after a lot of prayer, a lot of processing, a lot of consideration, and a lot of conversation, after 2 surveys and a partridge in a pear tree, we as a team have made the decision to reopen the building starting Sunday, September 20th. And I'm really excited because in the immortal words of Bruce Buffer, it's time. Now, as much as I'm grateful for online church, and it's been a huge blessing for many of us over the last few months, and it will continue because I know there are people out there who are simply not ready to come back to the church building. And like we've always said, the church is not a building. It's a group of people, and that does not change. You can be the church anywhere at any time. But I do know this, that there is a group of people who have really struggled in their faith without the discipline of coming to the physical building. We did a couple surveys, and our survey showed that a majority of people who would come to church pre-COVID have not tuned in online with the same devotion or regularity. Now, some of you have, and thank you for that. But much like many people have been okay and fine doing workouts at home, there is another group of people who need the discipline of walking into a gym, right? Where the equipment's there and other people are there doing the same thing. It motivates them. It drives them. The reality is we are communal creatures. And faith, our faith journey, was never meant to be done alone. And so I'm going to say this strongly. Whether you're ready to come back to this church building or not, you have to fight to make church a regular part of your routine. You have to fight to put it into your discipline. You have to fight to find a way to invite people to do church with you so that you are the church, whether that's at home or in this building. Whether that's a watch party, a Zoom call, I don't care. You have to choose to engage. And I truly believe that a huge reason that anxiety and loneliness and fear is rampant is because connections and communities during COVID have simply been disjointed. We've lost that discipline of coming together to worship, to come together and share our faith, to have conversations, and to pursue Jesus in communities. And this is why the church building is a sacred place. It's a place that many people do need to come to feel the beat of the drums in their chest during worship, to hear the echo of the microphone, to see people assembled with a common mission. And by seeing people come together in a church community, it drives us collectively towards Jesus, towards growth, towards being the person ultimately that God made us to be. And so yes, we are the church, but some of us right now desperately need the church community in the church building. So like I said, it's time. And so we will start on September 20th. Now this is important for one service, and there's a couple of things to note here. It's gonna be Stateline, but it won't be the same experience that you're used to before COVID. And it's important that you keep that in mind because I don't want you to walk into this building and be shocked when you walk in and it feels different. When there's not donuts, when there's not coffee. And so first of all, here's one of the big things that you're gonna have to do to be a part of Stateline Church in this short-term future, this COVID reality that we're living in, is you have to RSVP. And the reason for that is because we're only gonna operate our building at about 25-ish, 30% capacity. Now, this is a change to consumer behavior because you've never had to RSVP for church before. And so this is gonna be weird for many of you. This is gonna be new for many of you. We're also going to have kids in a limited capacity. And we've always said from the beginning that if schools are gathering kids, we can too. We can figure out as a church community how to safely gather our children. And we're going to spread them out and have a restricted number of kids allowed in our kids' rooms. But same thing, we need to have an RSVP so we know who's coming. And so you'll be able to RSVP on our website and you're going to be able to RSVP on the app. Second, you're going to have to wear a mask. Now, listen, okay? Before I get 1,000 emails about if they work or not, and all your studies and your data, or if it is taking away your liberty or your freedom, just think of it through this lens. We as Christians, and we talked about this in the Living Hope series, we are to respect our government unless they ask us to do something illegal or they ask us to do something immoral. And I'll just be really honest with you. You're gonna have a really hard time telling me you have a moral objection to wearing a mask. You may not like the way it feels on your face, but that's not a moral issue. And the bottom line is, we are to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. And if you would hope that someone would love you by being safe to you, then we at bare minimum should offer the same to our community. Third, when you are here, we will have a touchless experience as much as possible, which means, like I said, no donuts or coffee. We will have physical distancing, so I'm going to ask that there's no hugs, no handshakes, just big waves, but no high fives. We won't be passing an offering basket, and when we take communion together as a church family, it'll be preset out for you. But listen, this is the good news. Guys, we're gathering. And I know that we know now what it's like to not physically gather. And we don't want to take that for granted. And so I truly believe that we as a church community and as a church family, we can keep everyone safe as long as everyone plays by the rules, and we can come together and have a great time worshiping and learning about Jesus in this space. And so if you have any questions between now and September 20th, please, by all means, email us, call us, reach out. But I look forward to seeing you here in this building very soon.